In 2018, I was traveling through Tanzania for documenting the wisdom of women. And then I came to Arusha to meet a Maasai woman. I was asking her a bunch of questions, and one of the questions was, what is the biggest challenge you face in your life? And without skipping a beat, she said, none. As the day passed, I saw her look at a passing cloud and have this big grin and smile on her face. And I asked her, why are you so happy? And she said, oh, monsoon is my favorite season of the year. It's the only time I get to rest. And so inquisitively, I asked, what do you do the rest of the year? And she said, I walk 6 to 9 hours every day for water. And I thought to myself, it's 21st century. And I don't think so I can live with the notion and the realization that there's a woman walking in Tanzania 6 to 9 hours. What can I do? And so the last few years since 2018 have been spent, I think, imploring that question, digging up various ways to get to the water solution, which is an obvious answer. But there are many steps before you solve for what seems obvious. And in that unobvious was a central place for the community to meet, and hence the need for a community center. The first day I arrived at the community center, I actually sat and cried in the computer room, because it's one thing to talk about building a community center, come museum, come safe space, come learning center for a community over emails and contracts and fundraising and crowdfunding links. And it's another to see it in person. And when I saw literally these walls, I wanted to hug them. Not because they're my own, but because it's one of the most special, precious gifts that I've been able to give because of the intention of wanting to serve. And so when I saw it at the scale, that little promise with Bayani's mother in 2018 translate and morph into this big, beautiful space, I thought to myself, I've achieved this benchmark for a community. I hope in this lifetime I can do many more.
Inspiration. I think I'm very easily inspired. Every single thing has been inspiring. Just the way they live, what they wear, where they are, even their sorrows, even their joys, everything is inspiring in many ways. The patterns and the colors that they wear against the kind of background they are from and the kind of things that you see, the dryness that's around is fascinating, and it's a very good comparison to so many other spaces like a desert where people do end up wearing really bright colors because they want to lift their spirits up as well. And I think I really surfed on that feeling for them and wanted to make it as colorful as possible in its own way, not too much as well. But I saw a lot of potential compositions with patterns and what they wear. And I think like one of this center has been mostly dedicated to those moments where we catch them also sitting and looking at a sunset, or they're just walking by the rain, or things like that. I think those moments are really very precious for me.
When you go to stay alone, I make more things, but when we come together to tell us a history, they happy together, they do together, we come happy, we finish that work. Every Maasai woman who creates jewels is artist. Yeah.
A magical tool in the world is a conversation. And in a wise wall, it happens on so many fronts. It happens when Ayushi and I are sitting with a family or an individual in a community, on the street, in a shop, and trying to get as much information about this person, their life, their value systems, their beliefs, their biases and their prejudices. And harvesting that information is only the first part. The second element of that is communicating that to the artist. Someone like Purnima who will blow it up on a wall and scale it up to this magnanimity that you will be in awe of what you captured and who you captured. And then to an Adviti who will take these moving threads of a story and try to make it specific to the person, but yet keep its relevance open-ended so that if any other person in the world was to look at it and say, I can relate to that. Seems like a story I know. It was as if when I used my mouth, Purnima's eyes saw the face of the person and Adviti's ears listened to what that person was saying. And so effectively working as this one body to create this one body of art, I think is just truly, truly magical. And something I truly hope every person in their life gets to experience once.
We wanted to concentrate more on the patterns, Maasai patterns that they wear, which is really colorful, and mix that with the stories that Deepak and Aishi are collecting. So there was one story how, grandfather struggled really hard so that his next generation can, get education. And so he used to use a particular tree as a medicinal tree, and now the granddaughter wants to become doctor. And I think more what I felt is at least younger generation, younger Maasais, there is a lot of emphasis on education. Like, everybody, they've understood the point that you need to get educated for better living conditions. So there is a repetition of, or there is a lot of emphasis on education.
My deepest desire is for them to see the world without losing the map to home. And what I mean by that is, I hope they are able to use technology and modern amenities to their advantage without losing the sense and the reverence and the cultural warmth and just this depth that they have for where they come from. I think that's my deepest hope, that the world, when it gives, it takes a lot. And I hope that in this case, these people that we have fallen in love with, I hope that the world gives them enough without demanding too much back. And in that transaction, maybe what I hope for all the people I have interviewed, and especially the younger generation in the Maasai community in this village, is that they get more opportunities. Some of the people are so talented, full of possibilities, but do not know or do not have the means and access to pursue those goals because they are thinking about collecting water 4 hours a day. And when you sum up those 4 hours, you realize how much you have taken from a human being who could have used them more judicially. And so I feel that judiciousness in effort, in decision-making, in seeking, in serving, does not rob them of their innate joy and connection to Mother Earth.